Here is a weather update. We've got a number of factors here. There's only one really interesting thing that I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to save that more for last. Right now, we're going to take a look at a number of things. Right now, we got the cold front that swept off the East Coast. We had a lot of wind last night in the Northeast, and we'll continue to have winds on the order of 20, 30, 40 miles per hour, some gusts to 50 miles per hour, but most of the 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts have subsided. Now we're going to attention to lake effect snow. This is our first interesting thing. I actually misspoke. It's actually two interesting things. Lake effect snow streamers continue to come off of Lakes Erie and Lake Ontario here as these cold temperatures, and we get enough instability crossing the lakes and the upper levels of the atmosphere to promote these banded snowfalls. And I will get right on into the snowfall totals right after I get done with the current conditions here. Here in South Florida, that's the only place where we're seeing some really warm temperatures besides Texas here in the desert Southwest. Out here, the West Coast is dealing with some nice high pressure all the way up into the northwest. Maybe a light system up in the northwest, but nothing more the next couple days. Wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings up here in Minneapolis, up to Fargo, Winnipeg, over to Duluth, and up to Thunder Bay here. So this is where we're getting some, in northern UP of Michigan here. We have a winter weather advisory in here for Kentucky for about 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches of snow tonight. But the lake effect snow warnings continue east of Lake Erie in Ontario and northwest Pennsylvania, northeast Ohio, western New York, and northern upstate New York up to the Tug Hill Plateau. So let's get right into snowfall totals here on the east end of Lake Ontario. This is where we're looking at 10 to 16 inches of snow, especially from Oswego over to Pulaski, over just to Montague and just south of Watertown. That will be the main band of snow. Here across, actually let's switch places here. Across the eastern part of Lake Erie here, we see Erie, Pennsylvania could get upwards of, say, 8 to 12 inches, maybe isolated higher amounts. Heading on into Warren, Pennsylvania, that's where we'll see about 2 to 4 inches with this lake effect snow bands, maybe upwards of 5, 6 inches. But we get up here into Dunkirk, New York. That is where we're going to see some really high bands from Dunkirk on southward here, especially here. We're going to see on the order of, say, 10 to 16 inches with locally higher amounts to 20 inches likely. So, and we head down the shoreline here, just east of Cleveland, that's where we're going to get 6 to 12 inches. Most likely, if we want to narrow it down, 7 to 11 inches. And Cleveland itself could see 5 to 8. So we're getting right on into the NEO index and the AO index here. This is really setting our pattern up for February. As I said yesterday, it's not going to be a very eventful February, and it's a wild card. So let's take a look at the AO index. This is signifying some storminess because it's undulating across the neutral line here from positive to negative and back to positive. And the NAO index, that is also positive right now, but it will be staying pretty much positive through February. So that's bad news for snow lovers, especially in the east. So we get right on into temperatures here. Temperatures, we're going to continue to have seasonably cold temperatures across the north. These are afternoon highs for the next 4 to 5 days. Here out west, conditions continue to be seasonable. The only really cold Arctic air is way up here in Canada across the southern provinces. So we're not really looking at any major cold air outbreaks across the United States other than the usual cold we get up here in the upper Midwest. But they're really used to the cold this time of year. This is nothing really out of the ordinary. We'll continue to get lake effect snow events as the lakes remain open for business and unfrozen this time of year. So we really haven't had significant amounts of ice on these lakes, so they're going to continue with the lake effect snow bands. And here across the southern states, look at this warm up. We're just continuing to warm things up. It's almost looking like we could be hitting in an early spring here for many sections. So we get right on into the second interesting thing. This is later this weekend, and this is the GFS model. Let's put this frames into motion. You can see it actually tracks the low, takes it from an Alberta clipper in the northern Great Lakes and off the Carolina coast here in Delmarva, and moves it up just off the mid-Atlantic, but enough to clip New England here, and then really strengthens it here in the Gulf of Maine here. This is where it really bombs it out to 976 millibars. But that's the GFS. What does the Euro and the NAM? The Euro and the NAM are kind of similar. It keeps it as an open wave and really doesn't strengthen it until it's way off of Cape Cod. And we've seen this scenario before. This was about last week, not this past Monday, but the previous Monday, in which A lot of us advertised a New England blizzard, and it didn't even happen. It happened 200 miles east. So right now we're going to continue to watch this, but we're not really confident in a New England blizzard at this time, and we're not going to say whether there's going to be. Right now the models, there's some flip-flop in the models here, especially with the GFS bringing it much further west. Other than that, I'll continue to watch it and post updates. I'm meteorologist Mark Molnar. Like us on Facebook at MeteoMark. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Here's a 4-day forecast for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Elmira and the northern tier counties of Pennsylvania.